So, Steven, I have to ask, would you still scratch William Nylander? Oh, I wouldn't scratch that William Nylander. I didn't think so. And look, you're sitting in front of the camera. Your jersey's blue. The magic of Christmas. Let's go! It starts with an A and ends with anxiety. Off the charts levels of passion. That's just a nightmare. With you wherever you are. Welcome to LFR. Victory puppies! You probably forgot, but it's $50 to the Humane Society of Durham Region for every Leafs win. Leafs win! 6-3 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Penguins fans, I don't want to make you upset or anything, but 18.75% of all Leafs wins this season have come against the Penguins. 18.75. You could round that up to 19. And no one cares about 19. You go ahead and round that up to 20. That's how dumb guy math works. Let's go. So I was mad. I've been mad. And a lot of Leafs Nation has been mad. And the Leafs organization has been mad. A guy got fired. That's not typically something you do when you're happy. And I had these tickets. I had tickets for today's game. And I had them. And I was looking at how they were playing. And I was looking at this game on the schedule. And going, I am bringing my tiny child to this game, you rotten bunch of... Oh, it's the Penguins. Whether you're good, whether you're bad, there's always a team that you can't explain. A team that gets your goat every single time you play them, no matter how good or bad you are. The Sharks beat the Leafs twice last year and have won 3 in a row. The Penguins. Dude, go back and look at Henrik Lundqvist's career. The Leafs put that man through hell. The Leafs, who were bad for nearly the entirety of his Hall of Fame career. Weirdest thing, it's nothing personal, but I saw the Penguins and I went, maybe. Doesn't start off very good. The Penguins score. It's Justin Brazeau. Of course, it's Justin Brazeau. Oh, they're reviewing it. It was very silly, but it was a nice look at the nuances of goalie interference. So the puck goes in, the light goes off, but it doesn't appear that there's actually been a decision made on the ice. The refs talk about it and they go, it's a goal. Yeah, he got a loose puck. That's what happened. And so the Leafs challenge it because they're like, no. And they see Joseph Woll get pushed into the net, which you're not allowed to do, and that's called goalie interference. And the refs go, you're right. So that is the goalie interference challenge doing its job, and it's no goal. Hooray. Can I make an amendment to the rule? If they called that a goal, the Leafs would get a penalty for that challenge. So they'd be down 1-0 on ill-gotten goods, and they'd be on the penalty kill. Obviously, that didn't happen, so there's nothing to cry about. But what I'm saying is, why did the Leafs have to use a challenge? The refs didn't know. If you have to have one of those little get-togethers where you're like, say, what happened? I don't think the onus should be on me anymore. Can we just be honest and do a refs challenge where the ref gets to put their hand in the air and go, I don't know. It's okay, man. You're human. I mean, we all saw the replay and we're like, oh, what are we even doing here? But you didn't get to see it, did you? I don't know. Very minor thing at 0-0. Penguins have the puck in the Leafs' end. Kevin Hayes is like, I'm going to make a really easy pass. And Alex Galchenyuk will tell you that's not an easy pass. It's the holidays. I didn't need to bring that up. I didn't. But anyway, William Nylander intercepts the thing out of midair. William Nylander is neck and neck with Kevin Hayes. William Nylander is not neck and neck with Kevin Hayes for very long. Forehand on Skinner, backhand on Skinner, past Skinner. The Leafs, what did my voice do? Take the 1-0 lead, a William Nylander goal in this economy. Now let me wax poetically about William. Oh, no, the Penguins have it now. Oh, no! Bobby McMann tries to put it on net. It doesn't go on net. It ends up on the stick of Sidney Crosby. That's bad. Chris Tanev is back in the lineup. Forgot to mention that. Here's Oliver Ekman-Larsson going, Chris, get Brian Rust! He didn't figure that out before Sidney Crosby did. Rust has a breakaway. He does the exact same move Nylander did. Less than a minute later, it's 1-1. Bringing the mood for the next generation game down to less than jolly. But then, only about 3 minutes later, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they're one of the most confusing teams in the league. Like, the Leafs have been getting it in these videos recently. Like, it feels nice to talk about another team. Sorry, Penguins fans. Matthias Majelli puts it on net. William Nylander is there. So Parker Wotherspoon is like, well, I gotta do stuff. Swinging at it wildly should probably not be one of the stuff, though. He swings at it with his hockey stick. He hits it with his hockey stick. And it goes in. That's what hockey sticks do. I don't know. Listen, I've never had to defend William Nylander. Not like that anyway. I just don't think that's how it's done. And the Leafs lead 2-1 after 1. Now, something happened in the second period. Erik Karlsson is walking the blue line in the Leaf zone. He's being hounded by Steven Lorentz. And it's almost like someone went, Steven! Leo is in the building! And he just turns Erik Karlsson. Erik Karlsson loses the puck. And then, like, you know those scenes in movies where, like, a guy falls off a bridge or something and they very obviously don't even have a stunt double. They just have a rag doll. That's what Erik Karlsson turns into. Steven Lorentz, clear-cut breakaway, stopped by Stuart Skinner, and there's a rebound and he's stopped by Stuart Skinner. And there's another rebound. And is anyone going to show up? Steven Lorentz, on his third whack at it, scores! My son, my teeny tiny 5.5-year-old son, has been to 2 NHL games in his entire life. The only player to score in both of those games, both in the second period, both kind of nasty, Steven Lorentz. Steven Lorentz has 12 goals in 109 games as a Leaf. My son's been to 2 NHL games ever. He's seen 2 of them. The goal Steven Lorentz scored last year was on New Year's Eve. It was against the Islanders. There was an assist from Ryan Reeves. Lorentz receives the puck, throws a windmill deke on Alexander Romanov, and snipes it past Ilya Sorokin. Goes into the same corner, huge celly, similar picture and everything. I don't care how many goals you've scored in your career, my son thinks you're Gretzky, and the Leafs are up 3-1. For not as long as I'd like. Penguins are applying pressure. Troy Stecher sees a puck, and he says, "Get away! I don't like you." And it lands right on Rucker McGroarty's stick, and he says, "Fiddle-dee-dee." He scores. It's a pretty nice shot. Number 2 for number 2, and that's 2 for the Penguins, down 3-2. And that's how we head into the third period. Exactly 1 minute in, you know, they fired the power play coach. And the Leafs didn't say, well, the power play is the only problem. Like, at their press conferences today, they seem pretty open about there being numerous problems. And I'm going to go ahead and say this photo of the Penguins' third goal is one of them. What are half of you doing? Who has who? What goals are meant to be accomplished? Are you aware in general of what's going on? Joseph Wool, who understood the assignment by tending the goal, can't see anyone because despite the fact that there's 3 Leafs there looking for a job to do, they don't move anyone. Mantha scores from distance and the Leafs have blown a 3-1 lead on home ice. Isn't that dandy? And now I'm annoyed. The Leafs have blown a 3-1 lead on home ice while I'm there. And then you start to notice the other things about this game that annoyed you, but you were up 3-1, so you didn't mind. For example, it's the third period. Where's the power play? Give the Penguins a power play. They haven't had one either. Why hasn't anyone had a power play? Letang and McMahon got penalties at the end of the first period. That led to the second period starting with 4-on-4 action. There's no power play there. Nearly halfway through the third period, first power play of the game. Karlsson tripped Tavares. Here we go. We got the first new look power play without marks of it's over. And not the good kind of it's over. Usually when you score a goal, it's over, and that is not what happened. Matthias Michelli / Ryan Shea, it's over in half a minute. Like, Matthias, you're getting hard to defend, bro. Like, you look at his numbers, he got an assist the other night. Hey, maybe they should give Michelli a bit of a look. I mean, they scratched Easton Cowan. This guy must be good. You know what? Let's throw him on the top power play unit. And he says, actually, I hate being in the lineup. Whack. So it's 4-on-4 action for 16 seconds, and then Ben Kindle takes a penalty. So the Leafs have a 4-on-3 power play. And folks, I'll be honest with you, it was but. It led to brief, and I mean super brief, 4-on-4 action. The fact that anything happened during this sliver of time is ridiculous. The fact they handed out 2 assists on this goal is ridiculous. Because here is where Max Domi received the puck. They said this is end-to-end. This is about as end-to-end as it gets. He couldn't have been more end-to-end if he was hanging out in the Zamboni tunnel waiting for a pass. And this is the tantalizing vision that you see every now and then from Max Domi. He's got the puck and he's scanning the ice. Hey, it's 4-on-4. Hey, there's an odd amount of space out here. What if I just go fast? So he goes really, really fast and he gains the Penguin zone basically uncontested. There's fewer bodies out there, and he's going fast. And he goes straight at Brett Kulak. Brett Kulak? Oh yeah, I forgot you were part of that trade too. Now he could have easily handed the puck off to Bobby McMahon, driven the net, let Bobby do something with it, and just be the net front guy. Or if I make a move here and it works, I'm scoring. That's what he did. And it's not always the right choice, but we could use someone with a little confidence right now, and that is a man's move, Max. Sees the open side, snipe, maximum Domi. That is what maximum Domi is, and that would be your eventual game-winning goal. And my tiny baby child freaked out for that one. He was very happy because you got to remember, he lost his tooth once, and it wasn't because it fell out. He knocked it out. More accurately, ripped it out with a pool toy. Anyway, he was pretty upset about it. So when that happened, I just started sending him pictures of Chris Tanev and Max Domi. And this kid was on me like a week ago going, is Max Domi playing? Because he knows a little bit about like scratches and injuries and when a player isn't in the lineup, because his favorite player is Austin Matthews, and Austin Matthews did not play in the game that he saw last year. So he wanted to make sure Austin was in the lineup. He found out Austin's in the lineup. He goes, okay, good. Then he got a little cheeky. He goes, wait a sec. What about Max? And until they announced the lineup for today's game, I'm like, I don't know. Well, he was in. And this goal was incredible. Penguins pull Skinner for the extra attacker. Domi has it. Domi's out there defending an extra attacker situation. Wow. It's the holidays and I need to wrap this up. Domi off the wall. McMahon gets it. McMahon empty netter. Penguins try again. Nylander empty netter. Why not? Nylander's fourth point of the game. Hilarious. And the Leafs pull off the 6-3 victory right before Christmas. You know what? Good. Ignorance is bliss, and that's why I'm going to allow myself to be ignorant this Christmas until my family asks me what is going on with the Leafs tomorrow evening. But until then, I'm going to be ignorant. I'm going to be like, well, they won yesterday. That's good enough for me. Questions. First game, Tanev is back, and they winning? Noticing? You know what I noticed? Benoit wasn't in the lineup. I was surprised by that. And Myers spent half the game going, here, Simon, you take it. Like, listen, Chris Tanev was not sharp, but gosh, they look much better with him in the lineup. I don't expect him to be sharp. He basically didn't play for like 9 weeks. But no question, the team is better with him in the lineup. 100%. Will Leo get a Steven Lorentz jersey? Okay, earnestly, he has a Matthews jersey already. The celebration of Lorentz from tonight, like, I might get that picture blown up and put in his room. And he might be, I don't know how many Leafs fans have a Steven Lorentz poster in their room. He might be one of them. Leo being in the building for that Domi goal. My God, what a nice moment. He was approaching pumped. I'm not going to say pumped because it was the third period and he's 5. He was falling asleep. And also the goal horn is so loud. But yeah, we're going to watch the highlights tomorrow. And that is my present to me. Leo's review of the game. Okay, we're walking into Union Station. It's my wife and Leo and I. And Leo goes, the Leafs are doing so good this year. And we just at the same time went, yeah, man. Like, and like, he knows they're not. He knows they're not. But like, okay, forget the fact that he's my kid. Like, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about like a full 60 minutes and having some pride on home ice. Like, I was reached out to by a Leafs fan who paid to go to the game in Dallas the other day, and they were furious. They're like, listen, you're going to lose sometimes. There were a lot of angry Penguins fans in the stands for this game. You're going to lose sometimes, but lose honest. So when I'm losing my mind and I'm talking about the ticket prices and I'm talking about the fans in the building, that's the kind of thing you're capable of when everything comes together for you because you're making your own luck and trying your best. Like, this is the next generation game. Like, some of you might not understand that. Like, this is a game geared towards kids. So everyone in attendance, like, it was very heavily geared towards kids. It was a very young audience in the building that night today. Apart from not wanting to disappoint a stadium full of children, this is the future of the fan base. Give them something to cheer for. Because you know what this Christmas is going to be full of? There's going to be a bunch of family gatherings, and there's going to be hundreds or thousands of kids who are at this game talking about how great the Leafs were. They don't know what the expected goals are. They don't know what the shot attempts were. They don't know where they are in the standings. And if they do, they don't care because they saw that one. That's why every game is important. So my friends, gonna wrap it here. That's my present to producer Drew. This video is already, I'm so sorry, this should have been to you sooner. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Feast of St. Stephen. I'll see you before New Year's. And Jingle Bell Rock. Rock it around the Christmas tree. Run Run Rudolph is pretty good. And the entire Luther Vandross Christmas album. Enjoy!